Chessie, come. Come here. Come here, Chessie. Come here, baby. Hi, how are you? And that's a good girl. Good girl.
Good.
Hi. You are a good girl, sweet girl. Where you going? Chessie. Chessie, come here, honey. Oh, come here, honey. Chessie, come here. Come here. Chessie. Chessie. Chessie.
Active ignoring.
Chessie, come here, honey. Hi. How are you? Good girl.
Good.
Very good girl. And she's pretty.
I've never seen one with a tail. They always dock them.
Oh my goodness, you do have a tail back there. You're a very pretty girl, and you're a very good girl. Wow, that's good, girl. I think it's very nice. I think it's very good. Yes. But yeah, so they're hunting dogs, right? Or something like that. So they have these tendencies.
They're bird dogs, and they're called pointers because they're supposed to point at the birds.
Yeah. That's cool. The interesting thing is that the demand barking thing. You know, I'd be curious to see how she developed it, but I'm imagining it was her environment. I imagine all the dogs were barking all the time at everything. You know, like if they were living outside, they're barking.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, I bet, it seemed to me that's just her way of like saying, hey, humans, you know, come over here and let me off this door or whatever. Or she might see something outside and bark at that just because. I think barking is just like, you know how dogs get when they're together and no humans are telling them not to do shit. It's barking, fighting, it's nonsense central. And so then she's just like, this is just what I do. Because look, she hasn't barked yet since that correction, which is great. She took the correction wonderful.
Absolutely.
Which is what you really look for and if you really want to know the temperament, how does the dog receive a correction?
Yes.
What did they do after they get a correction? She settled down, stopped what she was doing, and then checked in with me and was like, has been present ever since. That's perfect.
Bring her to earth.
Some dogs will bite you or whatever, you know, bite at you or attack you or run away or whatever. You never know, but how does a dog respond to a correction? A dog, it goes for all dogs, they need to know how to respond to a correction at a young age so that you can use that as a way to keep them within the boundaries of your life. Once you get an effective puncher, which we have here, right? So we're just teaching her about it, okay? We're teaching her that she's in control because if you break these rules or don't comply, you'll get a correction. But if you listen, you won't get a correction. She'll learn that. But what's more important is that she learns that we can hold her accountable. So if we ask her to do something, she will do it. And if we ask her to stop, she'll stop, okay? That's important. But right now, it's kind of the fun part because she gets to explore. She doesn't really know how everything works, so we're explaining it to her by showing it to her. Don't tell me I got this. Chessie, come. Come here, Chessie. Hi, beautiful.
Good girl.
Oh, you are cute, aren't you? Yes, you are. Just a good girl. Yay.
Aww.
You are so sweet. Don't be too sweet to me, okay? Go ahead.
Aww.
She's cool.
And even when she gets something in her mouth that she doesn't want to give up, they said she clamps down harder, and even if they pry her mouth open, she won't give it up.
Really?
Yeah, but never tried to bite them.
That's interesting.
Eats gum off the ground.
You guys know, I mean, we talk, if you're familiar with our content, we talk about that kind of stuff. That's all symptoms of a relationship issue. The dynamic of your relationship, what's that look like from the dog's point of view? And the way, if you put yourself in the natural world, right, and you think like a dog, if she was having that conversation with another dog, say my dog Riggins, who is definitely capable of taking things from her, if she were to play that game with him, he would try to rip it from her probably. But if he couldn't, there would be an altercation. He would correct her physically, she would give it to him, and then he'd leave her alone.
Absolutely.
They'd be fine, they're friends, but he's saying in our hierarchy, when there's resources, I get them first. I'll leave some for you. You know, pack members are good to each other for the most part, as long as nobody's starving. But this is the pecking order. right? So this is just one ritual, like holding something and like seeing if she can keep it away from you. That's one ritual to see the hierarchy. Other ones, dogs will wrestle with each other to find the hierarchy. Dogs will try to hump each other. And if one dog can successfully hump the other dog, and the other dog submits to it, then that establishes some type of hierarchy. So these are just things. So she actually gave you an opportunity in the natural world. I know we don't live in the natural world. We live in the modern world, which is, we think, much different than the dogs. But in the natural world, there was an opportunity there to talk about hierarchy. And if we did that, if we had that conversation properly, we would actually want up in status. Not only would she start dropping things for us, she starts sitting for us and recalling for us. As soon as we can elevate ourselves to leader position through these conversations, the dogs, this is the beauty of the dogs, once they choose to follow you because you've had these rituals successfully, once they choose, they say, okay, I'm going to follow this person, they do everything for you. They'll stop when you tell them to stop, and they'll do when you tell them to do. And that's relationship. Mm-hmm. And that's important with every dog, okay?
It's something you can create.
It's something you do create, okay? It's not just, I'm gonna shut this past the door, come on, honey. It's something you do create. So every dog that I meet, we don't have a relationship. It's not like when I used to watch Cesar Millan, the dog whisperer, who I love. I used to be like, man, I think everybody thought that he was just like, magic. So if he stepped in the room, the dogs just recognized, oh, that's a dog whisperer. But if you watch it, and he's talked about it, it's like he creates it it's upon meeting the dog. So you'll see him walk in. The dog doesn't know it's Cesar Millan. Cesar Millan will have a few conversations with this dog, if you will, that will establish hierarchy. And then next thing you know, his sounds like shush and his body language, the dog's very much responding to it because they had that conversation that most humans just look over, right? So he'll address a dog like a dog, where most people will be like, honey, I need you to do this, you're not listening. Either I'm going to drag you with the leash or your collar, or I'm going to bribe you with something. And in those conversations, in the moments of, competing over resources or free will, it's not the right conversation. If you're having a conversation of stay away from this thing, you're not going to say, honey, are you hungry, right? Or if she's barking, you're not going to say, honey, are you hungry? You can do that, and people do that, but you see where it goes, not very far. So we're thinking like a dog. First and foremost, I'm trying to talk like her, to her, as clear as I can. I'm a human. And as I start to do that, I'm just going to start to get that relationship where I'm leader. I'm going to start introducing her to human talk, so she will have that common language, which is the commands and all that. But I'm doing very much dog stuff right now, so that she'll feel comfortable and she'll understand what's going on here. The only thing I'm doing that's going to be foreign to her, one, correcting her on the e-collar. That's explained a little bit in this process, so that she can understand, oh, that's me, right? That's my way of correcting. Then she'll feel comfortable with that, and also the recall. Okay, she's not foreign to the recall, but she's foreign to the concept of like the tone and the stim needs to come right here. So that's kind of a little bit of the human stuff I'm putting in there. But I'm very much going to be talking about hierarchy, like dogs tend to just want to do. It's built in them. They're designed to do it so that they can find out the hierarchy, and we all know so that the top dog procreates, so those genetics go on, right? And the dog who doesn't have great genetics, those genetics don't go on, right? That's the natural world. Okay, so we get a couple more recalls here. Let her out.
They've never let her off leash.
Okay.
As you can imagine.
Yeah. No, that's
it would be impossible to get her back.
That's responsible.
Yes.
No, we have a fence for that. So she's exploring, I'm gonna let her explore, and then all of a sudden she's gonna hear that tone, and then she's not gonna necessarily know what it means, but she's gonna see me giving her all the answers. And it's a very simple thing to figure out. Come on, come here. Dogs without training know to come here when you do this. You bend over, they come here. So it's not hard for her to figure out unless she has an attitude about it, which most dogs do that come here. That's why they come to a place like this, because it's not as easy as I'm understanding it. They understand it, they don't want to listen. Right? All right, I'm going to call it out. Come. Hey, Chessie. She's doing active ignoring.
Yeah.
Chessie.
Why would I come? There's so many smells out here.
Now she's coming.
So beep, beep, stim.
Come here.
Stim, beep.
Yeah, you are. Hi, good girl. Pretty good girl.
Becoming more
Yay.
relevant than the environment. Every time she walks away, it
Come here,
starts over.
Chessie. Come here, baby. Good.
Turns off right there.
Yay. Good.
I couldn't get her to sit for the picture.
Yes, and look, I'm not telling her to sit. This is my method. It's just I stand here for the recall. It's implied that she stays because every time she walks away, I create a little space, I correct and recall again till they just naturally don't leave, and then I'll go for the sit. Most of the time, they sit anyway because they get tired of sitting.
Yeah.
Good. Good luck. Good.
Amazing. She's looking at you.
Yes, we're going to get a lot of eye contact as we go on here. Because you know what eye contact is? Relevance. That's all it is. Are you relevant in the situation? If you are, they're looking at what's relevant, right? So they're looking at what they're interested in. What they learned through our relationship dynamic, which I talked to you before, the big benefit of being the leader is that the dog will see something that it wants to go check out, and it'll assume that you want it too, and the leader gets first access, so they end up looking at the thing, stopping, looking at you and say, what do I do? And that generalizes to stuff that I want in the environment. People, dogs, toys, smell, scents. That's all relationship dynamic. It's all going to be there. And we do that by keeping these boundaries, which everybody will learn about in the go home. Okay, so I hope I'm making sense. So soon what we're going to see from her is she'll see things she wants, such as going out the door, and she'll look right at me and understand that I'm either going to say yes, go out the door, or no, stay here with me. But she'll get her information by looking at my eyes and reading my body language and my words. Good.
Wow, great responses.
You see, this is what we have in this environment. Before, the door wasn't open, so there really wasn't an environmental trigger to pull her away from me, right? She was cool with hanging out with me. As soon as I put a trigger, which is just something to pull her away, something she wants, in this case, something she wants. The other trigger is something they're afraid of that they want to flee from, garbage trucks and things like this. This open door is presenting her to want to go over there. So now she has to choose. Now she has an ultimatum. This is really a learning experience. She's really learning that she can't just free will go over there, but I'm also going to teach her right now, when I release her, she can. And that's a wonderful way to start not only the recall, but our relationship. So we're doing it at the same time. Good. You're not Goose. Chest break.
All new to her. Good girl.
Boom. He wants hierarchy right away. That's the natural world right there, right? And if I wasn't here, he would try to mount her, but he's not going to because he knows the rules. He likes her because she's young and she's a female. She's a female for him. She's not just a pack mate, she's also a resource. So they treat him a little different than if that was a male.
She says, I'm going to hide my privates.
She says, I'm not available.
She's, I've been there, done that.
Good.
Very good response. Soft.
Come. Yay! Come here. Yay! Good! That was nice. You are a good girl. Come. Come here. Come. Good girl. Who's my honey good girl?
Yay!
Oh, what a sweetheart. Good girl. That's what I like. So when she's committing, she's sitting. So that's good.
Good.
Good. More eye contact this time. It will be within the next few sessions probably. It'll be more just right into my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good. Good.
Nice.
A little distance will carry better eye contact. Good. And I'm just rewarding that every time she comes back and looks at me. Good. And then this time I'm going to release her. Break.
Woo!
Good.
Good girl! She'll learn from Reagan.
Break.
Good girl. She's still learning that release word.
Good.
Good.
Good. Nice word.
No one's ever been able to put her in a command to teach her the release word.
Right, exactly. Let's get the other two.
Okay. Spark.
Funny, she's more human-centric than dog, and the last dog was more dog than human.
Absolutely.
It's good to know. There's some interest in the dogs too. She might see them though. She might not know what I'm allowing, because I'm often seeing her glance at me a lot. Yeah, Sparky's she's a trip for the dog. They're like, what is that? Sparkle's sniffing so hard that you can hear it. All right. We're getting excited. What do we have here? What do
You like
we
toys?
now? Who would like to play with toys? And more toys! And more toys and more toys. More toys. Get it. Georgia, which one do you like? You like this one? That's a great.
She goes nuts.
Oh, big one. Ready, bring one for the tub. Want for the tub, Ruby? Right here, Ruby. Oh my God, big mouth. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Oh, you got good. Real good.
He loves her cup.
Yeah. Good doggy. Good doggy. Ooh, that's nice. That's nice. Good. Oh, nice. Good boy. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Nice. Good. Listen. Chessie, come. Yes, a good girl, Chessie. Hi.
She's a fast learner.
Yes, very. Yes, she's
I saw the immediate response to that word.
Come here. Come. Good girl. That's what it is. That's the one. Good. That's nice. Come.
Testing of the boundaries.
Come.
She says, how
That's
much
good.
do I really have to listen to
That's
this?
nice. Every time she tests the boundary, she learns all about it.
Absolutely.
Which is good, so then they know where they are. Right? If we don't let them test it, they're not going to find them.
Chessie, this is going to get you off-leash freedom.
Yep. And with them testing this style of training, what I like about it is the dog's not frustrated as much. I mean, they might get frustrated in the process of being like, you're closing in their behavioral choices, right? You're limiting them. But the end result is they're chill because they went and tried everything. If I held her here and just kind of forced everything on a leash, she would still want to go try that corner, you know what I mean? And she'll think, as soon as I get a chance, I will. So we just allow them to try it all to realize that they don't work from the beginning. Within a few days, we got a dog who's pretty confident in what the boundaries are, and she knows how to avoid them. So that means she's avoiding corrections, which means she's going to start being confident in the program. Good. Break.
Yeah, really good
That's
girl.
what I'm talking about. What a good girl.
What a great first session.
Let's go see